Pete has this move where he tosses his bass around his shoulder, and the first time he did it, it landed on the bridge of my nose, and I played the rest of the show bleeding from my head. That would probably be one of the better war stories for me anyway. It was actually pretty cool. This has happened to me a couple times where I've passed out on stage and somehow I play through. So I wake up in mid-song, so I guess it works out. But it's really funny because you just look down and you're like, oh, I'm bleeding. That's cool. I guess it's a show.
Time where you did Around the World with your bass.
Yes.
And you took it to the face.
Yes, I do. So does the bridge of my nose. There's a little scar right here. Right, yeah.
We wanted to know what the outcome of that was like afterwards, after it happened. What was the discussion like on stage? After stage, do you remember?
Yeah, there's no discussion whatsoever. So what happened was I was borrowing. I was broke. I didn't own a guitar. I wasn't, it was still this era where it's like, well, am I going to be the guitar player or am I just filling in until we find a guitar player? And so I didn't own anything.
Patrick, we found a guitar player.
Thank God. So I was borrowing one of Joe's guitars, and it was a really nice. It was like his most expensive guitar. He lent it to me for that show, and I remember it was white, and so I'm bleeding from my face, right? And so first off, he knocks me out, and my knees did this thing where like they kind of locked. So I kind of like blacked out, but I'm standing up, and then I came to still singing, sort of. But like it was really weird. I was like it was like when you pull your fingers off holding the record, and like whatever. And I was seeing stars and stuff. It was, I proper clocked me. He really did a number, right? and then my concern instantly became, I don't want to bleed on this dude's guitar. He's going to be really mad. This is like the nicest guitar he has or whatever. And so one of my buddies was like off to the side, and I was like, hey, can you get me some like tissue or something? I just want to wipe off. I don't want it to drip on the guitar. And later I overheard Joe, and he's like, and then he's wiping his face. That wuss.
We're in game. We're just all pretty focused, so we wouldn't have a talk about it.
Yeah.
And then the reason at that time we didn't talk about it after is like we're like parents like from the 50s where we're like,
yeah, walk it off.
Walk it off. It's fine.
Yeah.
We're good.
By the way, there was
You're good.
there was never any consideration.
Did you get any stitches?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, there was never any.
Maybe you should have.
Right, whatever. Too late now. There was never any consideration of like, well, he shouldn't have done that, or whatever. It was never like that. It was more like my responsibility was like where I bleed.
Yeah.
So.